Yo, what's good YouTube world? It's your dude, Heat Ledger. I'm back at you guys again. This time with a video on how to make that moolah. Now you might be in high school if you're watching this, but this doesn't just apply to people in high school. And this is a sneaker related channel, but this is not just for sneakerheads. Anyone can do this. If you found this video and you just randomly stumbled upon it, you can make money too. These are all legal methods, of course. No illegal stuff on this channel. But do what you gotta do. No, don't take that advice. Now, I started working when I was 13 years old, and when you're under about 16, it's tough to get a job, like a retail job, maybe at a mall, or maybe you're working at a grocery store. It's difficult because you're competing against people a little older than you, and they're gonna take those people over yourself. You might even be too young to legally be eligible to work at some of those places. So you gotta come up with creative ways in which you can make that paper. Now, when I started working when I was 13, my first job was doing the paper route. All right, I'm gonna take you through this experience really quickly. Basically, this truck would drop off a stack of like newspapers, and then another stack of flyers, and another stack of flyers, and another stack of flyers. And what I would do on Sunday night is I would open up all these newspapers. I had about 100, 150 newspapers, and I would put in each of these advertisements in the middle. This whole process took about an hour, 2 hours to do, and then I actually had to deliver the papers to about 150 different homes once or twice a week. I can't really remember. And that process took another 2, maybe 3 hours. And then you want to hear something crazy? By the end of the month, my paycheck at the end of the month, the end of the fucking month, was $64. I did it for 3 damn months, and I said, fuck this shit. My young 13-year-old entrepreneurial self was like, no way. Let's find some other solutions. So that was that. Now, I put together a little list right now. I'm gonna go through all of these right now. So if you want to do the paper route, you can, at least that steady guaranteed income, but it is a grind, and sometimes you're not always going to get that dream job like working at the Nike store or Adidas store or Foot Locker. You got to go through the grind. I appreciate going through the grind. I appreciate people that have gone through the grind because it makes you value money that much more. So in other words, do the paper route if you want to do it. It's really easy. Call your local community. You can deliver your community newspaper. I guarantee you there is a lot of work to be had. All right, the second way I'm going to explain is shoveling driveways / mowing lawns. So we're at the end of summer right now. Maybe you're already mowing lawns, but shoveling snow is crazy in the winter time. Like, I remember when I used to do this, I used to charge like $15, $20 per driveway, and I would just hustle and do like the entire neighborhood, knocking on doors with a shovel and say, hey look, do you want me to shovel your driveway? This is how much it's gonna cost. Sometimes the people would say no, and you gotta be okay with that and go on to the next house. Other people are gonna want to negotiate, and you're gonna have to be okay with that. So I'm asking $15, all right, I'll do it for $12. You got some hot chocolate in the back, maybe you want to hook me up with that. Door-to-door stuff and interacting and communicating in that sense is also a great skill that you're learning and building. So I highly recommend you shovel some driveways this winter. You gotta grind, you gotta be okay with getting door-to-door and going face-to-face, and the kind of the physical labor, you have to be okay with that. Nothing is easy, so I highly recommend you do that this winter. There's still also a few more months of summer, so go ahead with your lawnmower if you have one, and go up to a couple of houses that have really long grass. Say, hey look, I can mow your lawn. I can do it for 15, 20 bucks. Even in a weekend, if you can do 3 or 4 lawns or driveways, you're bringing in probably like 60, 70, 80 bucks for probably only like an hour or 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours of actual labor. If you break it down per hour, you're making like 40 bucks, 30 bucks an hour. Like, that's pretty damn good. Shit, I'm about to quit my 9 to 5 and start shoveling driveways. All right, the third thing I'm gonna say is chores. Now, I'm not gonna say that this is a must because not every family necessarily has chores for the kids to do. It depends on your living situation, it depends on your family, maybe their financial situation. I don't want to go into all of that, but if there are chores to be done with your family, like cleaning or whatever, explain the situation to them. Just say, hey look, I'm trying to make money right now. What can I do around the house, to maybe make a couple extra bucks? All right, the fourth way is getting paid while you're browsing online. All right, so there's surveys, there's online focus groups, you can watch videos, paid advertisements, doing feedback sessions. These are all ways in which corporations can get information from you, the consumer, to help make their product even better. So they end up paying you for that time. I've spent a lot of time online doing a lot of this stuff and finding out the best ones. I'm gonna leave a couple links and suggestions in the description box down below. All right, the fifth way, this is a sneaker channel, so the fifth way is restorations, customizations, and cleanings. Now, when I was in high school, I didn't do this because I didn't have this kind of knowledge, but now that there are so many resources out there, especially on YouTube, tutorials and that kind of thing, you can learn by watching a few videos videos, and then maybe offering your services to a few friends. Maybe you're in high school and you ask a couple of sneakerhead dudes, hey look, I can customize those shoes if you're interested, or I can clean those shoes. You gotta have examples for people to see, so make an Instagram page, put up a couple examples of your work. You know, the internet is full of a ton of free resources. You can even make your own website and show off some of your custom or restoration or cleaning work there. All right, the sixth way, if you're into sports, is reffing games. Now, I played a ton of basketball in high school, and I remember before my games would start on Saturdays, I would see some of my boys reffing the games before, and those were like the pee-wee games. Like, these kids were like 9, 10, 11 years old, and they were making money just reffing the game. It seemed like a lot of fun. It was really easy to get into. So I definitely suggest you go online and find out. Maybe you can ref like the local community games. Maybe you can ref the local leagues. Hit up your school. Ask what you can do in that sense. All right, the seventh way kind of goes back to that door knocking thing. You got to hustle out there. So find some people, some neighborhoods, maybe some elderly people. Maybe you have some older family. And if they have garages, go up to them and say, hey, look, my name is Thomas. I noticed that you have a pretty cluttered garage. I was wondering if you need any help cleaning that. A lot of people have junk in their garages, so this is a great opportunity to, you know, help them out and maybe make a couple extra bucks. Number 8 seems kind of crazy, but washing windows. All right, it seems kind of wild, but you're gonna go up to some restaurants, maybe some dirty ass windows. If you see an opportunity, you gotta go up to them and be like, hey look, you got some dirty ass windows, $10 right now, I'll clean the damn windows. I got my bucket, I got my brush. If you do this enough times, man, you'll be making some serious dough, I'm telling you. So I never did this, but I know there's opportunities out there for this. So you gotta get on your grind. Again, go door knocking, houses, restaurants, buildings, whatever. All right, this is number 9. Sell water outside of music festivals, street festivals, whatever. If you have a cooler, you throw some ice in there, and then you got all these bottles of water, and you're selling those for like $2, $3 a bottle. On a scorching hot day, people are down to pay that. All right, it's worth it to them. The value is there. Now, I've seen 24 packages of water at my grocery store going for like $1, going for like $2, like crazy low. Then you pay like a couple bucks for ice. If you got a couple friends and you got a bunch of coolers, you can fill those and sell those for $2, $3 a piece. I mean, you're making 100% of your money back after the first sale, or even more. You might be making 200, 300% profit right away, and you're selling 24 bottles. Now, I never did this because I just didn't have this idea back in high school, but I highly suggest you could do this. You got to do this with friends, and of course, be careful. You know, I don't want you guys getting into trouble or any danger either, you know, because of those water gangs. They're out there trying to make that water money. No, I just mean when you're holding a bunch of stuff, people might take advantage of your situation. All right, number 10 is sell yourself. No, not in that way, but I mean utilizing services like Fiverr, where you can do something for $5. So you can be like, yo, I'll make you a drawing, I'll make you a little intro on the computer, I'll do a voiceover for you. Go on the website and see what other people are offering and say, can I do this as well? You can make a quick $5. Number 11 is hit up Craigslist for freelance gigs. This is also like a Fiverr thing, but if you don't have some of that internet savvy ability by going through Fiverr or any of those services, go on Craigslist and go on like the freelance area, I think it's called, or like gigs or something. You can see all these little chores that people want you to do. It can be anything from cleaning, it can be like acting, it can be like modeling stuff. Maybe you have a camera, you want to be a photographer. Just look at what other people need and see if you can handle something like that, and then start offering your services. Number 12, I think, is start a blog and write some articles, and then create a small portfolio, and then hit up other blogs that actually like paid blogs. I don't know, you could probably find some online, your favorite blogs, sneaker blogs, it could be fashion blogs, and you say, hey look, I'm a writer, this is what I do, here's my portfolio, can I write for you? At that point, you can then do maybe a couple free articles for them, and then eventually they're probably gonna start paying you for some of the writing if you're doing it well. There are a lot of opportunities online for freelance writers. If writing is your thing, I highly suggest you do it. I've been writing since I was like in high school. I went into university, I did a lot of writing, and then I did my master's in communications, and I did a ton of writing. So I consider that one of my strengths, and that's something that I have done a lot online, and I've made a couple dollars from it. Again, high school, you know, your skills might not be that sharpened, but if anything, it's a great way to build a portfolio, and then there are gonna be opportunities, maybe not in high school, but after that point for sure. All right, 13 is selling your stuff. You probably have stuff in your room right now that you don't need anymore, or that you're like, I could probably sell this and make a couple dollars. Don't be lazy. Take a photo, put that on Craigslist or whatever you use, Kijiji in Canada, and start selling that. Make your money. There are so many things right now that we have that we don't need, and someone else might need. Like, you might think it's junk, but someone else might be like, man, I've been looking for that. You never know. Put it online. Just be safe when you're doing the transactions in person. Selling arbitrage is number 14. Now, this could be stuff that you already see on Craigslist. Maybe you want to buy and flip stuff. This kind of goes back into a little bit of reselling stuff if you are into that. But typically, if you're in high school, you probably don't even have the money to buy the shoe in the first place to resell. So maybe you're finding just other stuff. Maybe you're finding like iPods, or maybe you're finding like other technology, you're getting a good deal on it, you flip it, you make some money off that. I was doing that all the time in high school. I still do it now. It's a really easy way to make money. Again, you kind of gotta hustle. You can't be lazy. All of these things are not easy overnight things. You gotta really want it, so make sure you get out there and do it. So in terms of where to find some of that stuff, you can go to garage sales, you can go to thrift shops, you can look already on Craigslist. Some people want the cash really quickly, and you can be like, yo, I can make $100 off this. I'll definitely buy it and flip it after. You can resell tickets. A lot of these things, you don't need a large investment capital to start, so you can easily just jump right into it. All right, I don't even know what number this is. It might be 14, 15. Ebates. So when you are eventually, you have that money and you are buying shoes, you know, use Ebates online. You can get cash back for your purchases. I mean, that's crazy. Like, you're spending money, you're making money, or you're getting a little bit of that money back. And savings at the end of the day is exactly the same thing. I mean, if you can save money, you can then invest that into something else, or you have that money to spend on other necessities. That goes into my next segment about investments, which is kind of outside the whole high school thing, but an investment can be as small as buying like an iPod or something. You know, that could be an investment. You can invest in skills, you can invest in developing yourself. That's a very broad term, but I will go more into money, financial investments in another video. But in terms of high school, I mean, see what is available to you. Maybe you already have some of that knowledge. Check out YouTube. There's a ton of ways to explore that. And if you have any questions, you can always tweet at me, Instagram me, or, you know, hit me up in the comments. All right, the last and most obvious thing is saving money. All right, it's not necessarily making money, but by not spending the money, you have the money at your disposal, and then you can spend that on things that you really need. And that goes into my next point, which is basically like, don't buy things you don't need, man. Like, a lot of us we just spend. Like, we don't think about our purchases. Spend your money wisely, all right? So try not to make impulse purchases, and the more money you have saved, then, you know, the easier a lot of the tips that I just gave you above will be, especially if you need to invest in something. So just try to be, you know, not cheap, but be frugal with some of your spending habits, and, you know, things will be a lot easier, especially if you start saving in high school. I mean, she'll be a breeze by the time you're my age. All right, so that's it. I probably missed a couple things, so if I did, comment down below. Let me know how you make money in high school. If you're not in high school, maybe you're in university or college, or maybe you're working full-time, let me know some of the hustles that you have in the comments down below. I plan on making another video to kind of outline a few things in college and university and beyond. So if you do want to see that, also hit this video with a thumbs up. It really means a lot. It shows me that you guys enjoy the content. Oh, and if you did find this helpful in any way, please share it on your Facebook, tweet it out. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to eat out here as well. I'm gonna do Heat signing out. Peace.